Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm Ron and this is
Don from Dr. Smoke.
And today we're here with a special guest who is going to show us how to make a Stromboli.
Stromboli!
Because a lot of people mess these up, including ourselves, so we actually brought in a professional. At least that's what they call him.
I think he's a professional. We kind of found him on the side of the road.
Yo, Doughboy!
Come on, Doughboy, get in here. There he is.
This is Doughboy, aka Anthony. Anthony has a lot of experience making what, Anthony? What do you make?
Dough.
He's a dough sculptor.
He's a dough sculptor, professional. He's very good at making strombolis, pizzas, and a lot of other things. And we're going to get into some of those in some of our other videos. But today, let's start with a stromboli.
Stromboli.
Sounds great. Let's get going. First, we need our dough.
Did you make that fresh this morning?
Of course I did.
Excellent.
Right, so let's make a stromboli. So first we take the pizza dough and put it on the counter. Not everybody has marble stones, as you may have noticed in one of our other videos. But here we're going to just use it right on the countertop. This works best for a stromboli. You need it to really stick as you're stretching it out.
So you want it to stick versus
Yes.
a pizza?
So a stone countertop or marble stone cutting board, all are good for this. But the key is getting it to stick, as you see as I'm stretching it out. This is what we're going for. We're just trying to get the dough to be stretched out evenly. I say like a 10 by 13 or 14 inch spread on the dough is what you want to start with.
How heavy was that dough to start with, just to give people an idea?
Heavy?
Yeah.
This was a 16-ounce dough ball or a 1 pound dough ball.
You made it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you wanted to, that 16 ounces looks to be just about the right size. Typically, when you go to the supermarket, they sell them in 1 pound dough balls or 16-ounce dough balls. And anything bigger, you might have to cut off the sides.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to start by adding some cheese.
Now that cheese, is that anything in particular?
This is a low moisture, part skim mozzarella. And we're just going to put it right down on the dough. Now here's some of the things that you're going to need to, watch out for. You don't want your cheese too close to the edge. So you want to keep like a 1 inch space from the edge. And the reason for that is when you go to seal the stromboli, if you have cheese there, it's not going to seal, and then you're going to have cheese and everything else oozing out of that stromboli while it's in the pizza stone, and that's no good. So you could also add provolone if you want.
Which you are adding. You're not asking us or anything.
Yes,
You're just adding.
I'm just doing it. And this stromboli is going to be a pepperoni and cheese stromboli. So I'm going to start adding some of the pepperoni in.
Have you ever made a stromboli before?
Once or twice, Back when I was a young boy.
When you got the nickname Doughboy?
This was the time. And I'm adding a little bit of pecorino romano or reggiano parmesan or just a locatelli cheese, just a grated cheese. Just adds to the flavor.
I'll tell you that cheese dispenser looks a lot like you see them at the restaurants.
Hey,
What'd you do with that?
I swear I didn't swipe it.
Okay.
It's a little bit of cheese. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to start to seal the stromboli. So as you can see, there's no cheese here. There's no cheese here. And when I go to seal this, I'm going to have a nice, solid seal. See? Solid seal.
Nice dough-to-dough connection.
Yep, dough-to-dough connection. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to slowly start to roll the dough up. And as you're doing that, you're tucking your hands underneath and keeping it kind of tight.
So we want a tight dough-to-dough connection.
Yes. Now, the last thing you do is you take the rest of the dough and you flap it over top. I'm going to just press that down, just like this. And now your sides are nice and sealed. Now, what some people like to do, I like to tuck it under like this. This top part where this extra dough is at is going to be the bottom of your Stromboli. So I like to tuck it in like that.
Some people like to just cut it off.
Either way is fine.
That seems like it's going to be pretty hard to get off the peel and into the pizza oven though.
Well,
It's so sticky.
now that it's sticky, here's another misconception that a lot of people have when they're making a Stromboli. And that is, they want to flour the surface. When you flour the surface, you can't stretch out the dough, and you've got a mess. So what I do is, before I'm ready to put it in the oven, I go on the bottom side, I flour my peel.
What kind of peel is that?
It's a synthetic peel. You could use a regular wood peel. I have one of those too. But you just want enough flour on the bottom of the peel, as you can see, just so it doesn't stick. Now with this, I'll take the whole Stromboli and I'll put it right on the extra flour. And then I'll flour it up. Hey Don, you got any Italian seasoning?
Nope.
No?
Like this?
That'll
Italian
work.
seasoning?
Beautiful. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is paring knife. Need a paring knife. All right. Now, before I made this Stromboli, I checked what the depth of the Green Mountain Grill would be, so I know how big of a Stromboli I can make. And this is about the size that you want. You don't want to go any bigger or any smaller. Well, you could probably go a little bit smaller, but this seems to be a good length. All right, next thing I want to do is I'm going to take a little bit of olive oil and garlic and stick it on top. So this is a fresh chopped garlic and oil, and it's just been marinating in the oil. I'm gonna put a little bit on top.
It's looking pretty good, Anthony.
Add a little extra cheese on top, right? Some of that
Italian seasoning.
Italian seasoning. And then the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna slice into it just a little bit. You don't go all the way down. You maybe go down like 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch.
Looks like you're putting an exhaust system on it.
You know what? This is where all the cheese is gonna start to bubble out when we go to stick it in the oven. And it gives a spot for the moisture, any water that might get inside with the cheeses or the pepperoni. This is where they're going to be able to escape. So, and that's it. Next thing is let's put it in the oven.
Putting it in the oven?
Put it in the oven.
So here we have our Green Mountain Grill Stomboli Prime Plus. We have our pizza oven in here. We are in the pizza mode, which Don showed you that earlier. Now I'm going to check the temperature on my stone before we put the Stromboli in, because a lot of people will just throw it in there and they'll burn it, scorch it, your pizza's going, your Stromboli's going. So let's check it right now. Okay, I'm showing 500 degrees. This is the temperature that we recommend. Other people will do 600, but 500 seems to work for us, so that's what we're going for. Go ahead, Anthony. And he's shimmying that thing in there real nice. And it's in. Now, do you want to cook it with the lid up or down?
We're gonna cook it down.
Cooking it down. Now, how long do you think a Stromboli is going to take compared to a pizza?
So what I noticed when we cooked the pizza the last time, the Green Mountain Grill seems to really cook it a lot quicker than if it was in a commercial pizza oven. So I'm gonna say we're gonna stay here for about 2-3 minutes, check it, see how it's starting to brown and cook. We'll probably have to turn it 2-3 times, and I'm gonna say a total of maybe 5, maybe 7 minutes total for cooking this Stromboli.
Okay. Now the difference with the Stromboli as far as the pizza, with the pizza you like to keep it turning?
Yes. The Stromboli you're gonna want to turn once or twice so that it browns evenly and it cooks evenly. But when you have the pizza, you're going to be doing a quarter turn at a time. This, you're going to actually turn it 180 degrees each time.
Okay. And how soon do you think until we open this up? Because I can't wait to see. Come on.
Are you ready?
Stromboli.
Are you ready? So this is going to take a little bit longer, and that's all right.
Okay.
But we're already starting to get nice and crisp on the bottom. It's really starting to cook up. So this might take a little bit longer.
All right, let's let it go.
I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the temperature on the Stomboli Green Mountain Grill, and I notice it says 250 degrees. But you said the pizza stone is at 500 degrees. So why is that?
Right, that's a good question. A lot of people get confused because they're looking at the temperature on the smoker itself, and they'll overheat their stone, almost superheat it at 800 degrees, and that's when your pizza gets scorched. So we're in pizza mode right now. Pizza mode takes in consideration that your temperature sensor is on the outside of the pizza oven, and it's over here in the corner. So I'm not going to open this up right now because we're cooking, but your temperature sensor's over here. That's where it's picking that temperature up. So Green Mountain went in and did some adjusting to know what the temperature of the stone is compared to the temperature on the smoker. And in order to dial it in and get your stone where you need it, you want to be around 250 degrees. That gets us 500 on the stone and gets us a good pizza and a good Stromboli.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to seeing how this is looking so far. So I'm going to open this up and check it out. We're starting to crisp on the one side, and we're getting some nice brown on the top. So I'm just going to turn this around.
This looks like it's a lot easier to turn than the pizza, huh?
A lot easier.
It's great.
All right, let's seal it up.
So this may be something that a beginner would want to start with before they get into doing a pizza, because the Stromboli seems like it's easier to maneuver on there, and I would think it's a little bit more forgiving than a pizza that's a little bit flimsier and harder to put on there with a peel.
Yeah, I mean, making a Stromboli, that's something that's kind of like popular. A lot of people like to do around the holidays, or, you know, if they're having friends over for like a Super Bowl party or something to that effect. It's something great that they could just kind of pop in the oven, you know, after watching this video, and be able to make one themselves. And like you said, it's a lot easier than making a pizza and having to worry about turning it all the time. This should cook and be ready to eat a lot easier than a pizza.
Now, we did a traditional Stromboli.
Yes.
With this. If we wanted to add some ingredients, what are the things that we got to be careful about if you're using things that are high in water content?
The key is going to be, and I'll show you that in a bit, is pulling the moisture out, either dabbing off whatever it is with a paper towel or something, so that you try to get as much moisture out of the ingredient prior to placing it in. Now, there's some ingredients that you're not going to be able to get the moisture out, that being like a vegetable. I mean, they're just going to have a natural water content already built into it. So, I mean, that's just something you're going to have to keep an eye on when it's cooking in the grill.
Okay.
We've gone a little bit longer. It's really starting to brown now. So let's see where it's at. It's probably been about a total of 3 minutes, I'm thinking. Yeah, see, we're getting some really nice color here. It's really starting to shape up. I'm going to turn it around again. You know what? I'm going to go this way and see if we can't get a different angle for cooking it. So it's kind of like a crisscross is what we're doing right now.
So you're finding some hotter spots and you're trying to rotate it to get the brown all around it.
Yeah, I want to try to get an evenly brown cook on the outside of the Stromboli. We're going in. Oh, we're starting to bubble out. It smells good. I love the smell of the smoke.
We're about 7 minutes in.
I think we got some nice color going on here. I feel better that we pull this now. It's got a nice hard feel to it. I think we're good. I'm gonna take this inside.
All right, man, let's cut this thing up and eat it.
Whoa, Don. Whoa,
Oh, man, I'm
Don.
hungry.
No, this thing needs to set a couple minutes before you can cut into it. If
Wow.
not, you're going to have cheese and pepperoni oozed out all over the place. You want this to set up a couple minutes, let the cheese to kind of coagulate a little bit. Then when you do it, you have some nice cuts. You can always heat this up after it's been cut. We got to wait to eat this.
All right.
What do you want to make next?
Vegetarian Stromboli would be really good.
Sounds great. Let's get started.
Let's do it.
If you can, Don, you think you can wipe that off for me a little bit?
I'll get it. What kind of vegetables are you thinking?
I'm thinking we can do some broccoli and some tomato, some garlic and oil.
Now, a lot of these vegetables look like they've been sauteed. Is there a reason for that?
Well, the ones that we're using right now are pretty much fresh. We have here is some diced tomatoes. This is just a regular chopped broccoli that you can get in a supermarket. We're going to start again with that.
Stretching the dough out.
Stretching the dough out. You want to kind of keep it rectangular. I push down the sides here so that we don't have more dough on the side and less dough in the center. And I go for that same 10 by 14 dimension. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be an exact measurement. So now what I'm going to do differently with this one than I did with the pepperoni one is I'm going to start with the provolone first.
Any reason for that?
When putting the vegetables on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the provolone. I'm going to do a couple handfuls of tomatoes right on top of the provolone. The reason why I'm doing it this way, the fresh mozzarella on top kind of sink into the vegetables and keep them in place. Let's do some broccoli. When making these, you want to be careful not to get anything on this outside edge. We're loaded up with that. I'm going to add a little bit of the grated cheese again. And I want to add some of the fresh garlic and oil inside it. I'm going to start to roll this one up again, trying to make sure there's nothing on the sides. What I do is I just bring it up like halfway over top of the pile. Again, trying to make sure my sides are nice and clean. And I push down to seal it, just like that. All right? We got a lot in here, so I'm just going to make sure I'm holding it as I'm rolling it. All right, same with this side. Gonna hold it as I roll it. Tuck it down, so that feels good. And then I'm gonna pull the rest of the dough up top, just like I did before with the pepperoni and cheese one. This again, this part here is gonna be your bottom. Sometimes I like to just bang it on the counter like that to kind of stretch it out a little bit. to get the length that I want. So when you're stretching out that Stromboli, you basically want it you don't want it the full size of what the Stromboli is going to be. You're basically going for trying to make sure that the dough's not stretched out too much. If the dough is too thin, you're going to have it explode inside the pizza oven, and that's something you don't want. So I'm going to go again with this one. I'm just going to cut the sides. And as you can see here, it's sealed, nice and sealed. Nothing's coming out. That looks to be a good length. You can start with a little cheese. That should stick to the dough a little bit of oil there. And I'm really just using the oil as a way for the herbs and spices to kind of stick to the Stromboli. Really, the flour just needs to be on the bottom side of the Stromboli. So I'm just gonna pull it up.
So you like to be called Anthony or Doughboy?
I would prefer to be called Anthony,
Okay.
but I've been called Doughboy.
Anthony, I noticed that on the top of this peel when you have me clean it that there's a bevel, and I've never noticed it. So does this distinguish the top or the bottom?
I don't know nothing.
Oh, okay.
Dime. The reason for that bevel is when you're sticking it in the oven, that's kind of like the angle that you want to put it in at.
So here we are. We have a new Stromboli. This one is a vegetarian Stromboli. What's inside, Anthony?
We got broccoli, tomato, some olive oil, some mozzarella, and some provolone.
All right, let's do it. You're saying this one's going to cook a little different because of the ingredients, and why is that?
There's a lot more moisture in these ingredients, the tomato and the broccoli. So this one you're going to have to be conscious and cautious of that moisture coming and bubbling out.
Okay.
There's no way to eliminate the moisture out of the tomatoes or the broccoli. It's just it's in them. So
Now, is that why you cut the slits on the top, to give it somewhere for it to go so it don't blow out the sides?
correct. You want to give it a path of least resistance, or a place for it to just kind of ooze
Vent,
out,
and the steam can come out.
and the steam can come out.
Okay.
So
Well, I'm excited to see the difference with this one compared to the other one, because everybody makes a pepperoni and cheese Stromboli. So this is a little different, and we'll see what happens. I hear it.
all right, I'm gonna go in and spin this.
So we can see where our hot spots are, and we're going to work to that. It looks like it's cooking pretty quick.
Yeah, and I like how it's looking too. Seems to have like a nice color to it.
So Anthony, what do you think of the Green Mountain Grill pizza oven compared to a traditional pizza oven? I know it's not the same thing, but for the home chef, is this thing pretty cool or what?
I have to tell you, I've been pretty impressed every time that I've cooked on it. It seems to really cook the pizza or Strombolis perfectly. The way you can regulate the temperature and keep that stone nice and hot. What I noticed on that stone is it's nice and thick. Like sometimes you can buy those stones for your home and cook a pizza in the oven.
Right.
It just doesn't seem to be the same. Cooking it on the Green Mountain Grill, I see a whole different product come out of it. Just the way that it finishes with how it's cooking, the crust on the bottom's nice and crisp, the crust on the top is nice and crisp, and you've still got that nice soft inner doughy part. And I think to me that makes it the best.
Now there's other pizza ovens that you can get for the house that use propane.
Yeah.
And they don't use wood. So the difference with the wood and the propane, would you say that you're going to get a lot more flavor out of the wood? Is this like a brick oven pizza?
Just getting that, this is better than a brick oven pizza. This is almost like one of those backyard like wood cooking ovens where you're getting that smokiness and that wood flavor in the food, and just that alone makes it better than anything I've ever seen. So yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
All right.
Golden brown.
So I'm going to keep it So what I'm doing is I'm going to keep it in the center of the stone. It seems to cook the sides nice and evenly, and that's kind of the color that I'm looking for and what I want.
Wow, look at that. Beautiful.
Cheese bubbling. I think we're ready to go in.
Let's bring it
Straight
in.
out of the Green Mountain Grill. Absolutely delicious, yummy Stromboli. I can't wait to eat it.
This does not look like a Stromboli to me, buddy. What are you doing?
I'm switching it up. I have a nice larger dough ball here. I figured, let's make a pizza real quick. We got the Green Mountain Grill rocking with the temperature, and we got some time in between Strombolis, so I'm gonna make a quick pizza.
You're gonna make a quick pizza.
Quick pizza.
I cleaned off the peel for you.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. What kind of pizza are we doing?
We're just gonna do a plain pepperoni pizza.
So this process is a lot different. Obviously, if you've watched our video, you know that it's a little more involved with making a pizza than a Stromboli.
We're back out here again. This time we have a pizza. Pizzas are a little bit trickier, I think. I don't know, maybe it's easier for some people. Anthony makes it look very easy, but he whipped this thing up. We're gonna throw it on here and let's see the difference of cooking a pizza compared to a Stromboli. Magic.
A little air underneath.
Let's see if it comes off. See how easy that was? Now, did you use any fancy stuff on there? That gritty stuff that makes it taste like sand on your pizza?
Some people like to use semolina. You don't need semolina. All you need is a little bit of flour on the pizza peel.
And make sure your dough is not wet.
And make sure your dough's not wet. Make sure the front of the peel's not wet. You know, you got a nice thin flour layer on there. And then once you go and you throw that in there, a couple techniques are you pinch the side and you pull it. And what that does is it puts a little bit of air underneath the dough. Or like you saw me do, where I just pull the dough up a little bit and blow a little bit of air underneath. Another quick tip technique to try to get it off the peel easier. We're going to close this thing up and let it cook.
Is it going to work out or is it going to burn? We'll find out in a minute. The turn. So we can see it's starting to get a little crispy on the one side. So you did a 180?
180.
Okay. Here we go.
I want that side that's cooked the most on the outside edge where it's probably not as hot. Check it out.
Here we go.
Damn.
Cooks a lot faster than a Stromboli.
How's that smell, Ron?
Oh, that smells good. Real good. How's the undercarriage?
It's a little dark, but I don't think it's you know what, Ron, I think you got the good call. I think we're gonna pull it.
Yeah, let's pull it.
Yep, let's pull
All right. Smell. Oh, waft it, baby. Waft it at me.
Yeah, show it to both of them because you might get a better shot on one of them.
Don and Ron, when we had this pizza in the pizza oven, we just would turn it 180 degrees every so often, just to kind of when I turned it, you would have noticed that there were some spots that were nice and dark. So that spot is the spot I wanted to keep. So if this is the dark spot, I want to keep that to that outside edge of the pizza oven. This way, now the backside's cooking nice and dark. And what's really nice about the Green Mountain Grill is, as you can see, you got a nice crisp bottom and the sides are nice and crisp. The top's cooked really nice, but you still got a nice doughy inside. So it's not like overly cooked. Like you don't have like a solid piece of cardboard. You actually have a real pizza.
Right. You don't have the little real soft spots of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's everything out on the outside's crispy. Like
Nice and crispy on the outside.
I'd like to thank Anthony for coming out today and helping us do our Strombolis and our pizza. I hope this was educational for you guys, teach you how to do this and how to use the Green Mountain Grill. Now, one thing about Anthony, I really didn't like his outfit in the beginning, so we're gonna dress him up a little bit with some Dr. Smoke apparel, which we do sell, which you'll see it down in the description. And now Anthony is officially Dr. Smoke material. What do you think, buddy?
I appreciate it, Ron.
All right, man, thank you.
Thank you.
And we're gonna have Anthony come back and do some more videos with us. I want him to do some baking, maybe some breads, some pies, and things like that with the Green Mountain Grill, because you can do that on there, so let's try it. So thank you for watching. If you could like and subscribe to our channel, that would be great. And if you have something that you want to see Anthony cook next time, let us know. I was thinking maybe a calzone or a pizza turnover, but if there's something in particular you want, let us know down in the comments. And if we have enough people that ask for it, we're gonna make them do it.
As long as I'm, you know, not locked up.
Well, he is the doughboy, and we will get more into that story later.